In case you have not heard, the Dallas Mavericks traded Luka Doncic to the Lakers for Anthony Davis and some stuff. Um, and obviously, the video I put out was very just in shock. It was less of real thoughts. So today I'm putting out a video. Actually, I'm gonna put out two videos. It's gonna be a two part video. This video is gonna be talking about the Mavericks. The next video is gonna be talking about the Lakers. Um, just breaking down how crazy of a trade that this really was. The first question that I had to ask yesterday is why on earth would the Mavericks trade their 25-year-old megastar in Luka Doncic? And this is the answer that the Mavs GM put out. Nico Harrison said, "I believe that defense wins championships." In case you don't know, Luka is notorious for not playing defense, supposedly. I believe that getting an all defensive center, and an all NBA player with a defensive mindset gives us a better chance. We're built to win now and in the future. So this is really interesting. And obviously, my first question is, what do you mean it's a better chance to win now? Do you think Anthony Davis is a better fit than Luka Doncic when the whole team has been built around Luka Doncic since he got drafted? I don't know. That doesn't make sense to me. Obviously, getting Anthony Davis, I would just like to keep pointing out Anthony Davis is a phenomenal player, but he's 32. He's 32 years old. So the first question when I look at the second part of this quote, when he says, "I believe that getting an all defensive center, an all NBA player with a defensive mindset gives us a better chance," my first response would be that is true. However, your star player does not have to be an all defensive player in order to win a championship. Let me give examples of this. Last year, the Boston Celtics won. Jason Tatum was not an all NBA, an all defensive player. He was an okay defender, but he wasn't the best. 2 years ago, Nikola Jokic won. Nikola Jokic is obviously known as a not great defender. The year before that was the Warriors. Steph Curry, who is not a great defender. He's okay again, but he's not a great defender. He's more an offensive player. They won the championship with the team built around him. The year before that, actually, let me think. So the year before that was the Milwaukee Bucks. Obviously, Giannis is an all defensive player, but the reason that they were winning was because he dropped 50 in the closeout game. I'm pretty sure it was in game 6 against the Suns. The year before that, when the Lakers won, it was LeBron James who was the guy. And at that point, LeBron was not an all defensive player. He was okay yet again, but he was more of an offensive player. The year before that was Kawhi Leonard, who that was kind of a weird championship because all of the players on the Warriors got hurt. But Kawhi Leonard, who is a great defensive player, had a perfect team built around him and all of those things. And I don't think Anthony Davis is in the same situation. The year before that was the Warriors. The Warriors, obviously, Kevin Durant and Steph Curry and Klay Thompson, it was all offense, less defense. They had a good defensive team still. They still had defensive pieces. But overall, it wasn't. It wasn't the greatest defensive team of all time. The year before that, LeBron, who was a great defender, yada yada yada. Warriors, obviously, we've already got there. They said um, it 2018 ish. None of those championship winners matter. It what has been proven to me year after year is that if you have an all NBA player, one of the best players in the league, who can carry you to win a championship on the offensive side of the ball recently, you will be fine. Defense does win championships. Every team recently has had good defensive pieces, but the Mavericks had good defensive pieces. They had guys like Derek Lively and Daniel Gafford protecting the rim. They had PJ Washington, who is a good defender. They have all of these guys. Um, and it's just crazy to me that this is the vocal reason for why the Mavs traded Luka. It still blows my mind that I'm even talking about a Luka Doncic trade. But according to this reasoning, I think it makes some sort of sense. I guess if they're really trying to build a defensive team. But other than that, like I just think it's not logical. I think they're only looking at one side of the ball. And that's also not to say that Anthony Davis is a bad offensive player. He's a good offensive player. I just, man, it's just crazy because Luka's a top, 2 or 3 best offensive player in the league right now. Um, so the second part of this quote, we're built to win now and in the future. I disagree so much because we're built to win now. They are not built around a player like Anthony Davis. They were built around a player like Luka Doncic. And the second part of that part, so like the fourth of it, I guess, if you want to call it, and in the future, that makes zero sense. Now, the reason I'm not going to talk about this is because another quote came out. And obviously, if you watched the interview or the press conference with Jason Kidd, head coach Jason Kidd and Nico Harrison, the quote here says, Nico Harrison said he fits right along with our time frame to win now and win in the future. The future to me is 3, 4 years from now. The future 10 years from now, I don't know. They'll probably bury me and Jason Kidd by then, or we'll bury ourselves. This is an insane quote. Like, you have to understand the balls that it takes to say this. He's literally saying, "Screw you, Mavs. I'm worrying about myself right now because I don't care about the later future. Um, and Luka Doncic, I don't care about the Mavs. I don't care about all that. I care about myself and I care about winning a championship right now." Which, okay, but he says he cares about himself, and he's, in my eyes, he is completely screwing himself over from getting a job anywhere else ever because of this trade. Notification, actually, it said that I'm recording this video right when the Cavs and Mavs just finished, and if you did not see that game, the ESPN notification said the Mavericks lost by 43 points to the Cavs. Which, okay, the Cavs were a great team and they didn't have Anthony Davis, but if you look at the caption, it says Cavs route Mavs 144-101 in post Luka Doncic era after scoring the third most points in a first half in NBA history of 91. Defensive minded team, huh, Nico? Huh? Man, that's just crazy. I thought I'd add that in. So let's stop talking about why the Mavericks are wrong and let's start talking about what the Mavericks are going to do this season and I guess for their future of 3 to 4 years. Um, the depth chart right now, ignore all the outs. All these players are fine, except for Derek Lively, who will be in the starting lineup. So imagine in the playoffs this year, it'll be Kyrie Irving, Klay Thompson, PJ Washington at the 3. I don't know. That's weird. Um, Anthony Davis at the 4, Daniel Gafford at the 5, which is ironic because Anthony Davis asked the Lakers to get him a center, and Kendrick Perkins said that they gave him Daniel Gafford, which I think is hilarious. But obviously, Derek Lively will be back in the lineup, so they'll have another big. That's 3 defensive bigs, 3 lob threats. That's going to be kind of fun, actually. It's kind of interesting. I hadn't thought about that too much, but Kyrie Irving and Anthony Davis duo, I actually really like. I think that's a really good duo in this league. The problem is I can't get over the fact that they just traded a 25-year-old superstar. I can't. I can't get over it. Now, let's think about the future. Kyrie Irving is old. Kyrie Irving, I think, is 33. Klay Thompson is old. I think he's 30 something as well. PJ Washington is whatever. Like, it's not going to be the end of the world if they lose him, but Anthony Davis is old. He's 32. So on what planet does Nico Harrison believe that this team is going to be built for the future? I am okay with the fact that they think they're going to be good this year because I actually completely agree. I think the duo of Kyrie and Anthony Davis and all the other pieces around them, I think works. I think it makes some sort of sense. But when he talks about the future, that's insane to me. I'm going to wrap this up quick, but the Mavericks, I do think that they're still going to be okay at least this year and next year, assuming they stay healthy. Of course, like Anthony Davis isn't known for staying healthy, but man, it's so hard to get over the fact that they just traded one of the best players in the league at 25 years old. for some old men and saying that they're going to be good in the future.